Well, hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? It is the Jer Bear. We are live on YouTube. Thanks for stopping by. Today's date is Sunday, February 21st, 2021. Joining me off camera this week, you can see over here is my dad, and Amy is over here on the couch. And I want to put something out there as as a quick side note. I've been having issues with Google Chrome crashing, and I'm using Google Chrome to do this live stream. So if at any point in time this video should happen to cut out, it's not me ending the live stream. It's either to do with Google Chrome crashing or the internet having issues. So just as a fair warning, I don't want you to think I'm leaving you high and dry, but I've been having issues with Google Chrome and it's been crashing. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, thanks for stopping by anyway. So there's a little bit of, things to talk about. Not a whole hell of a lot of things, but there's just a few things. The young man who passed away from Wilms tumor was buried on Wednesday on the 17th. And I've been keeping in contact with his mom and his grandma via text message. And they told me that they were going to send like a pamphlet in the mail from the service. And so I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled for that. And like I said, we've been keeping in contact. We've been, talking about how much, he meant to everybody. And I've been sharing my sentiment, expressing my sentiment. And we've been keeping in contact and everything's good. And, I think they're, it's difficult, but I think they're trying to get beyond it. And it's going to take some time, of course. There's no time limit on grief. There's no time limit on healing. But I think they're doing okay. And I've been talking to them and I've been, trying to keep things going. And, because they are, I should say not were, are a family that I love and care about. And, I check on the people I love and care about. Next Sunday, a week from today, is my brother Wayne's birthday. And it's the final Sunday of the month of February already, next Sunday. So next week, I'll probably be wishing my brother a very happy birthday. And that might be the subject of next week's Sunday video. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, I burped. Might be the topic of next week's Sunday video update is my brother Wayne celebrating a birthday. What else was going on? I'm trying to think here. Really not a lot. Not that I can remember. Valentine's Day, it was warmer weather. Yeah. Valentine's Day was a big whoop-de-doo. We did get a winter storm on Monday, and I had taken some video just, to kind of show the aftermath of the storm. And you saw the videos, hopefully. I uploaded some content. And we went to Saginaw last week. Dad had to go to his doctor to pick up a prescription, and I had taken some video of that, and you could see all the snow everywhere, and people are acting crazy in the city. That's typical Saginaw, Michigan for you. But, I figured I would upload some extra content and kind of give an in-depth look at how, things are going in my area, and just to show that I'm still getting out into the world. I shaved my head last night. I like to keep my hair short like this, although it's like 20 degrees outside. Actually, I can tell you how cold it is right now. It is 32 degrees. So I was wrong. It was 14 degrees earlier this morning. And I just got the update that I'm live on YouTube. Thank you for letting me know, which I was already aware. We visited with my uncle and my cousins last week. So really not a lot to talk about. Rush Limbaugh had passed away, which was sort of big news. I'm trying to think what else was going on.
Yeah, shout out to Joey and her brother and family for loss of her father, Joey Austin.
Who?
Joey Austin.
Jolie Austin?
Tony's wife.
Oh, my cousin Tony Perkins. his wife Jolie, so it'd be his father-in-law, had passed away, and we send our condolences and love to the family. So I'm glad that Dad mentioned that, because I really didn't know who he was. But Dad wanted to make sure that we got the condolences out and sending love. So really my week was it was good. I mean, I'm still kicking, still going. How about you guys? Dad, we'll start with you. How was your week?
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Still here another week, so that's a good thing, I guess. Good. Had things taken care of this week, and
Oh yeah, we paid our property taxes last week too. Yeah. Yep. So we paid our yearly extortion fee to the state. That's what I call it.
I paid the rent on my land.
Yeah, because really that's all it is. It's rent. You know, I don't think there's ever going to come a time when we pay for property or pay for even our vehicles, we got to pay the state to keep the vehicles legal. So when is it actually going to be my car? When is our property going to actually be our property? When is it actually going to be our home? You can't have it both ways. If we own it, we shouldn't have to pay someone else to keep it.
Everything you have, they own.
Your own body isn't yours. It's the government's. They tell you can and can't do. And licensed extortion, licensed theft, because they do it and get away with it. But I'd rather, and I hate to sound so passive, but well, I'd rather pay it and not lose our property. I don't feel like sleeping in the streets. Yeah, because it's too cold. And even if it wasn't cold, I'd rather be in a home, Amy, you're awfully quiet over there. How have you been doing?
Good.
Well, right when I said that little do on the phone. So I'll take that as a positive. You've been doing okay?
Yeah, better than what I was.
Well, you guys actually went away yesterday. You went up to Farwell. Yeah. I couldn't think of the word. Farwell. That's the name of the town. And I had the house to myself for about 2-3 hours, I think, maybe.
One of these times, Jared, you'll have to take a ride up there and see how much it's changed.
Yeah, that's what Dad said. It really changed up there. Everything's changed. The last time I was in that area, I was with my mom, because she lives where she lives at now. She's not far away from Farwell. She actually lives closer to Wademan than Farwell. But she went to the Rite Aid pharmacy in Farwell. We used to go there to get Maxine's medication. Remember? That's the last time I've been to Farwell. And that was, I think, last year or a couple of years ago. But I haven't been in Farwell in such a long time. But yeah. So did you have fun yesterday? I mean, you just to get out of the fucking house. Yeah. If I don't get out of the house, I go crazy. I got to get out and see things and see people. And yes, I wear my mask just so there's no worry. Yeah, I'm over that shit. Dad was just saying that we might have to wear these facial diapers until 2022. I'm not really happy about it, but if that's what we got to do, then that's what we got to do,
Yeah. Why don't they sell more reusable ones so that you can wash them?
They do.
And hot water and
yeah, instead of the disposables, sell the reusables.
They want you to double up on them too.
Yeah, Dr. Fauci, and everybody's listening to this guy, which he should. I mean, he's the one who's telling everybody what they have to do and everything, which is all right. But he made a statement which it had taken me back. He says, well, we should have, you should wear 2 and 3 masks at a time. It's just common sense. Well, tell me, Dr. Fauci, if it was common sense, why the fuck didn't we do that in the first place? Why did we only wear 1 mask? Why not wear the 2 and 3 mask in the beginning? if it's such common sense. Well, it's not common sense to people who don't know otherwise. And I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting the guy, but what the fuck kind of a statement is that? It's common sense. Well, maybe to you, and if it was common sense to you, you should have made it apparent to the rest of the fucking world to wear 2 and 3 masks at a time. I bet it would have saved a lot more lives, and the death toll wouldn't have gotten as, over 500,000 people in America lost their lives to the COVID. It wouldn't have even been that, if we actually had that common sense. What do you think, Dr. Fauci? I don't know. You tell me. You're such the expert, right? Well, I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to say anything bad about him. I'm not,
Because I said it before. Now they're talking about wearing glasses for.
it goes into your tear ducts. But that's what, yeah. But what I'm saying is about Dr. Fauci is that I don't want to undermine his expertise and his knowledge about what this pandemic is capable of, or what this virus is capable of. But at the same time, and I'm using common sense here. If it was common sense to you, it should have been common sense to the rest of the fucking world. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, it was really just, it just blew me away. Well, it's common sense we should have wore 2 and 3 masks. Well, it's not common sense if we don't know. You're the expert. You got to tell us. But whatever.
Then they'd say layering up didn't matter.
Yeah, so even I don't know what to believe, because the information contradicts itself all the time. So, and I am one who goes by evidence and logic and all that stuff. But when it comes to like medical stuff, I want to make sure that I follow as closely to expert testimony as possible, because if anybody's going to know, it's going to be them. That's why they're in that particular field of expertise, because if anybody is going to know, it's going to be them. But anyway, enough on the COVID. I'm
COVID out.
I have been COVID free for quite a while. I had COVID at Thanksgiving. It's gone.
I had it after you.
And we're doing better. But speaking of doing better, the weather is supposed to be getting better. I just mentioned that it was 32 degrees outside. I think we're supposed to be in the 40s this week. So that's going to, bye-bye snow. We could definitely get rid of the snow.
Bye-bye snow, and up comes the rivers.
Yeah, up comes the rivers, because once all that snow melts, it's going to make those rivers come up. And I wanted to talk a bit about the situation in Texas, because I have lots of friends in Texas, and I got relatives pretty much all over, but I got friends and family in Texas. They were affected by the catastrophe that happened, and look, I'm not going to laugh or poke fun at the people of Texas, because their infrastructure is not consolidated enough to withstand that kind of weather phenomena. So their panic is justified, because they don't know what to fucking do. They panic. It's not like here in Michigan, where we can get 20 below zero weather. We know what to do. We know it gets cold. We know what we have to do. In Texas, they get triple digit temperatures. They're not used to the 20 degrees and the ice. They're not used to driving through that kind of weather. And so they panic, and for good reason. And I'm not going to sit here and poke fun at those people for not knowing what to do or how to react to the situation. That would,
and that's why my brother's wife doesn't like to drive right now.
Yeah,
she's not used to it.
Yeah. If you're not used to living or trying to survive through winter weather, whether it be snow or ice or anything like that, that's understood. I'm not going to sit here and poke fun. There's a lot of other people that I know, friends from the area and family from the area. Oh, those Texans, they panic over little things. It's not a little thing. You try living in Texas, okay. You grow up in a state where snow and ice is not something that's common. And you try to figure out how to navigate through that. You know, it's like Arizona. That's all desert out there. They're not they typically don't get snow. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, it's desert. So it's like, it's like trying to, if you don't know how to swim, you better learn, sink or swim. Well, what if you can't swim? You're fucked. So I get why people in Texas are afraid, why they panicked. It's justified. If you don't know what to do, you don't know what to do. You're going to panic. On top of that, of course, the COVID, because I hear it was bad in COVID. Yeah. The COVID I heard was bad in Texas. Yeah.
They got the flu up here at Kelly's right now.
Yeah. So, and something else I wanted to talk about too with Texas is that they were expecting a warm up this weekend. Everybody got all excited about that because, hey, it's not ice, it's not cold, it's not this, it's not that, but check it out. This is something that probably was commonly overlooked, and I'm going to address it. And I kind of made that prediction earlier last week. A drastic change of the weather will make people sick. And once that happens, that's going to be mistaken as a new strain of the COVID, which means that tighter restrictions are going to apply in the state of Texas. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping it didn't happen. I'm hoping that wasn't the result. But because I prognosticated a little bit and said, well, this is what I think is going to happen. I hope it didn't happen, but it could be possible. I hope I'm wrong. But anyway, shifting gears. So was it a nice drive up to Farwell? A lot of wide open spaces up there. I wanted to use this time also to, I bet there's a lot of deer. I wanted to use this time to do a special shout out to my cousin Destiny and my buddy Joe out in Kansas and all my friends and family in Texas and even you watching at home, you or watching on your computers or your cell phones or whatever, you viewers. So thanks for stopping by and thanks for indulging me for a little while. There's really not a whole lot going on around here. Not a lot, not really much to speak about. Yeah, the gas was $2.65, I think, last week. Actually, they were because I got it on film. When we were going to Saginaw last week, I had my little camera up like this on my cell phone. I use this phone, by the way, to do all the away from home filming, or I use my GoPro because I got a GoPro camera. But is it beyond 265 now, or did it come down?
It come down a penny or two.
Because I think I spotted a 262 gas price somewhere.
Yep.
But yeah, not a whole lot going on around here. I've been staying home when I'm not going anywhere. I like to stay home. Oh, how could I have forgotten to mention this? We switched back to DirecTV. We don't have Dish Network anymore. The maintenance guy came out yesterday, hooked up all of our receivers, which there's only two receivers, one in the living room, one in my bedroom. Got another satellite dish up on the house. And it's nice. We're getting the hang of it. We're still getting used, to certain things. And of course the channel numbers change because it's different, providers. So we got to get used to that. So yeah, there a little bit of change, but not a whole lot. We did have an incident I don't know how it slips my mind. I'm just not thinking. We did have an incident in the neighborhood last week where our neighbor, 2 houses down, her pit bull got loose and chased the other neighbor back into her house, in which case she fell and hurt herself really bad. Now, I don't know if the police showed up. I don't know if Saginaw County Animal Control come out.
Because they said they couldn't right now. They didn't have too much other stuff going on.
Right. Only if somebody got injured. I guess that's not a big deal, right?
But if I shoot the dog, I don't know. They'll be right out.
Well,
They'll attack me or
I mean, I
whatever.
carry pepper spray for a reason. I know they do down there. I know they carry pepper spray down there. Because when they go walking, they walk up and down the road during the spring and summer, and I know they carry pepper spray with them. But that we've had nothing but issues with the neighbors 2 houses down, nothing but issues. They got all kinds of animals, barnyard animals. They have a child living there. They've had the cops show up at their house on more than one occasion, and there was even a time when that young lady living down, a couple houses down, she went next door to that house of the woman who was chased in her house. She actually went down there and told her to call the law because her boyfriend or whatever was being abusive, air quotes, abusive. It's been nothing but drama and headaches. People down there. I don't talk to my neighbors. There's a reason I don't speak to my neighbors. I keep to myself. There's not a lot of people. There's not a lot of people I speak to anymore. Actually, just email, text message, whatever. But if they say hello or if they make first contact with me, I'll speak nicely with them. But I really and truly don't talk to my neighbors. The people who live directly next door to us in this yellow house, bunch of fucking idiots. The young girl who owns the house has an attitude problem. I was standing outside one day because first of all, they have a wooden privacy fence, which, by the way, facing the wrong fucking way. I was standing outside one day and I had my camera on my phone, and she told me that I could not have my camera aiming on her in her yard. Now, mind you, where was I? Was I in my own yard? I can't remember if I was in my own yard or on the road. But either way, I mean, she was just being a snob about it. And it's like, well, what if I'm filming my own property? I can't help it if the camera is picking up your property if I'm filming my own property. Well, I didn't upload the video because, it was just stupid. It was just, I was actually, I think it was I can't remember what I was filming now. It's been such a long time, but she got all bent out of shape and she got her panties in a fucking uproar because I filmed part of her property. Well, you know what? Big deal. I could go out on the fucking road and film your property if I want to, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm on a public right of way. There's nothing you can do. And you could call a cop and a cop would tell you the same thing. He's on a public roadway, ma'am. There's nothing that I can do about that. But anyway, I mean, you could stand out on the road in front of my house and take pictures and film and do whatever you want to do. Nothing I can do about it because it's a public right of way. It's a public easement is what it's called. That's just the law. But anyway, I don't speak to my neighbors. I try not to. I don't initiate contact with them. I don't have anything much to do with my neighbors other than the fact that if if they say hello, I'll say hi back. I try to get along with them. I try to keep the peace, but there's some people in this neighborhood that it's a quiet, peaceful neighborhood, and then they have to start problems and cause issues for other people who've lived here, by the way, for 20, 30 years, if not longer. But I am perfectly fine with keeping to myself. How about you, Dad? But as you can see, my dad is sitting over there in the corner. You can see him right there. Yeah, you're going to see the wave. You can't see Amy because she's always off camera. Well, not always, most of the time. So, you guys saw some deer yesterday? Were they big deer?
Oh, yeah, a whole lot. Like probably couple hundred of them in the field. And look,
Wow.
bunch of trees, and it was all deer.
Couple hundred?
There was a lot of them. There were at least 200 of them. Oh, Amy.
Yeah.
That's a flock, huh, Amy?
Yeah. It was a flock of deer.
Yeah. We pick on her about that a lot. She know, I think now she knows. She knows that she used the wrong word to describe deer together.
Geese. There's a herd of geese.
A herd of geese. How long have you been in the country? I thought you were a city slicker.
I was. But I'm 20 years into the country.
I've been in the country my entire life, pretty much. Country boy through and through.
Besides a couple places in my past.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a country boy. I lived in Merrill. I lived in Chesaning and Town. We lived in Saginaw for a short time. We lived in Shields for what, a week, I think, Dad? Across from Jack's Fruit Market on Gratiot.
I lived in Gratiot County and I lived in Shiawassee County.
I'll tell you what.
No, Saginaw County.
I'll tell you what. I was born in Shiawassee County, Owasso. But I have never lived outside of Saginaw County in my entire life. Never. Now, when I was on the hospital in Lansing when I had cancer, well, that's Ingham. So I was on the hospital. I was in Ingham County for like 6 months, I think. But I've lived in Saginaw County my entire life. I've never lived in Gratiot or Clinton or Shiawassee or anywhere else. It's always been Saginaw County. As far as towns are concerned, which I just rattled off, I lived in Merrill. I lived in Brant. I lived in Chesaning. I lived in Saginaw for about maybe 5 minutes. And I lived in Shields across from Jack's Fruit Market on Gratiot. We lived there for about a week. And it was actually a basement that was converted into an apartment. And upstairs was my Aunt Rhonda's sister, Shelly. She lived in the upstairs, and I think it was her husband. Were Billy and Shelly married, Dad? I don't think they were, but I remember Bill Thompson and Shelly. It's my Aunt Rhonda's sister. Yeah, so we all lived in the same building. And that's been, oh wow, that's been, Jesus Christ, what, 30 years ago, I think? I don't remember. It's been about that. It's had to have been about 30 years at least. But yeah, kind of going down memory lane here because I really don't know what else to talk about. So everything here is going pretty good. Haven't really had any issues. The only issues, like I said, just the neighbors down the road, and they're not even issues with me. They're just people who, I think every neighborhood has at least one neighbor or a resident who just, they can't keep things quiet. They can't keep things contained to their own home and their own property and their own, just can't, they're not well enough alone. So they have to raise commotion in the neighborhood. And I, for one, I'm not a fan of commotion. I would assume be left the fuck alone.
Yeah, never leave me alone.
I'm wearing my 906 t-shirt that I got when I was in the Upper Peninsula. By the way, 906 is the area code for the Upper Peninsula. So that's why you see the 906 with the Upper Peninsula shape underneath of it. That's when I went up to Iron Mountain to hang out with my friends, which, matter of fact, I just emailed them and found out what was going on. And there was another warrior who was a friend of the warrior that I go hang out with in Iron Mountain. he has a buddy who is a leukemia warrior, and I've been getting updates, periodically through the Friends in Iron Mountain. And this other young man, the one who's battling leukemia, he lives in Iron Mountain, but he goes to Green Bay, the same place where the friends of mine, the Wilms survivor, he went to Green Bay. So we're all keeping it. Well, we're not all keeping in touch because I haven't met the other warrior. Hopefully this summer or even in the spring, if my van will make it that far, which I think it will, I would definitely like to go up that way again and maybe meet the young man who is a leukemia warrior. And I was reading the email, and by the looks of things, by the sounds of things, he's doing pretty good. He's responding well to the treatment. He's in a final phase of whatever treatment. I can't remember the name of it right off, but he's doing pretty good. He's doing fairly well. So hopefully things will turn around for him, and it'll just be a part of his life story that he can look back on. And by the way, the young man who passed away from Wilms tumor, and I mentioned at the top of this video here that he was buried on Wednesday. I received a picture of a sandhill crane landed in their backyard, and she told me that maybe it was the young man. It was his way of telling them that he's okay now. And it's a beautiful thought. It really is. It's a really beautiful thing to think about. It's a beautiful way of putting it.
Oh, yeah. It's been like in the summertime.
Yeah.
We'll go to the cemetery to stand by my dad's grave.
Right.
And there'll be butterflies flying around.
Oh yeah.
Or you go and you look at the deer tracks around my dad's gravesite.
Right.
There's no
It's like-
deer track anywhere else.
It's like
My dad's.
It's like sometimes I'll go out to New Lothrop. There's a young man out there who had DIPG and he passed away. Sometimes I'll go out to his grave and I'll just stand there and look on, and there'll be like a little butterfly, or there'll be some, or if I look up because there's a field, when you look out, there's a field, and sometimes there'll be a herd of deer. And it's like, okay, that's peaceful. I come to see this, to visit the grave of this young man, and I did go to his funeral, by the way. But sometimes I'll go out there and I'll just check out his grave, because he doesn't have a headstone. He's just got the markers, and he's got like a cross and all that. But it's poetic in a way, because, they pass away, and when you go and see them, and then you see nature happening around. So it's symbolic in a way,
I always believe that they're reincarnated.
much like this picture. Excuse me. Much like the picture of the sandhill crane. So, it's a comforting thought to have. And I'm not gonna get into the semantics. I'm not gonna question things, and if that's what brings people comfort, I'm just gonna leave it alone.
Not only do I have that comfort, but I also have the comfort of some items that belong to the person that passed away.
Yeah. And that's what I have too. Like the young man who passed away, he had drawn me a heart and said, "I love you," and it was for my birthday last year.
My mom
So, yeah,
one of my dad's neckties
yeah.
after 2 years after he passed away.
It's hard. It's difficult. In the family that I speak with, the young man who passed away, I speak with his mom and his grandmother, and they're still having a hard time. It's new. It's fresh. The wounds may never heal. And like I said, there's no time limit on grief. You grieve for as long and as much as you want to. And because I'm trying to think of how to phrase this, because I don't want to I don't want it to sound insensitive, although I know that it probably will sound insensitive. I'm not an advocate. I haven't been an advocate for childhood cancer for a long time. So there's a certain element about advocacy that I just stopped caring about. I never stopped caring about the children. I stopped giving a damn about trying to satisfy people. I stopped giving a damn about trying to ingratiate myself with particular groups and all this other stupid, meaningless, pointless shit that means nothing at all.
But you're still saving the canned tabs for
Well,
cans.
that's another story, but I gave up on trying to just fit in. I quit on it. There's just no point. Why am I trying to fit in when in fact I know that what I went through was legitimate, it was real, it was gruesome. Why would I take the extra step to try to fit in with people when, if we're going to speak in terms of being a part of the demographic, I'm already a part of it? But I'm not an advocate anymore. I gave up on the whole, all of it. And what Amy is referring to, collecting the tabs from the cans and taking them to the Ronald McDonald houses and things like that. Sure. But at the end of the day, I care more about the people. I'm not looking at the superficial side of, I got to be on TV, I got to be on the radio and whatever. I don't care about that. All I care about is helping people and just going on with my day. Sadly, not everybody in the childhood cancer world thinks and feels that way because they care more about looking good than they care about doing good. Don't get me started on that again. I could go on and on and on. But as far as this young man is concerned, and his family, whom I love dearly with every breath I take, if that's the kind of comfort that they seek, if they look at a sandhill crane, if they look at a sunset, if they look at a bird, if they look at a butterfly, if they look at something that gives them that feeling of, he's just telling us he's okay, which it's beautiful. I'm not gonna question that. I'm not gonna get into the semantics of, well, I don't know about that. No, I leave people to their feelings. If that's what they think and feel, that's what they think and feel. I'm not gonna tell them that it's that they're being ridiculous. I don't think they're being ridiculous. I think it's a beautiful thing. I don't think anybody's being ridiculous when they say, well, this reminds me of them, or this is a sign from them telling me that they're okay. I don't think it's ridiculous. I think it's comforting. But what I'm saying is the reality is such that people are gone forever. When they're gone, you're gone forever. There is no coming back. And and it's the same with advocacy, I'm done with all that and I'm never coming back to it. The reality is that I'm a survivor and I am with information. I can tell you things. So there's that reality to deal with. It's a big mess. I don't have enough time in a day or in a Sunday video update to explain fully in great detail about what I'm trying to get at, but there's just so much about advocacy that had driven me away. I'm still disgusted by. A matter of fact, I texted. We haven't spoken in a long time, but I had texted someone who I used to really talk to every day, and then she got a new boyfriend, and now she's all willy-nilly with this new guy. I found out that because, by the way, although I'm not on Facebook anymore, I can still see public Facebook pages. I can Google them and there they are. Just so you know. I found out that she actually let that leeching ass maggot motherfucker, Milk Tyson, in her house. Knowing that maybe she didn't know that at the time You know, he was just a good guy trying to do good things for the kids. We know now that he is a self-admitted sexual predator who leeches off vulnerable people. Kind of sounds like somebody else I know. And she granted him access to her children. And when I saw that, and although the picture's probably maybe 2 or 3 years old, although I seen it, I was absolutely fucking disgusted by it, and I still am. And I texted her and I said, "You let that maggot, leeching piece of shit bastard around your children? That predator, you let him around your kids? Are you fucking kidding me? Really?" But we haven't spoken. Like I said, she's got a boyfriend, and you know, it's all about him and you know, her daughter who was a cancer warrior. Fine, whatever. But I am not I it's hard for me just to stand by and not say anything because I know that it's fucking wrong. A guy who goes on a podcast and makes all kind of, I got kicked out of a homeless shelter for sexual harassment, like a fucking idiot, and then you people still give him access to your children. You are just as disgusting as he is. Sorry. But, you know, hello. Like I said, I could go on and on and on, and you know, I try to talk about different things, but somehow it always leads back to the same fucking place every single week, every single time. I'm not trying to do that. I don't do it purposely, but it's not something that I can just shut off, that I can just ignore. You people need to wake the fuck up and realize what you're getting yourselves into. I'm not the bad guy here. I've never been. You just go by what people tell you. Or you just go by something you read on Facebook. Oh, like Brandy Boyles Bullock, right? Oh, I got all kinds of evidence on you. Name it. And then put it in a police report. And that's what I told her. That's what I'll say it right here in front of the whole fucking world. If you have evidence, and that's not just Brandy, but anybody, if you have evidence on me, something that could have me put away, you're going to sick the cops, do it. Go for it. Knock yourself out. I'll just sit here and drink my Pepsi, and when they do show up, I will have them on camera, and I will publicly humiliate them and send them packing with their tail between their legs, much like I did Tom Mitchell. Which, by the way, he's another one. He can't resist making himself look good at other people's expense. Uses people's kids to champion himself, which is pretty fucking weak to me, but you know, whatever. Anyway, moving on. So, oh, this is I forgot I had this. It's an envelope with envelope. It's got it's already stamped and addressed. I was planning on writing a letter to someone and I just never got it out. Maybe this week I'll yeah, I'm running very slow. Maybe this week I'll have a letter printed off and I'll send it out. I don't know, we'll see. But Destiny, if you're watching, I'm not receiving your text, but maybe she's busy doing something else. I don't know. I wasn't out there last week. The week before I was out there, Pepsi makes me burp. But let's see, what did I did. I went shopping last week. I got a little bit of groceries last week. I went to Corona to Myers. Or Meyer, I should say, because the name of the store is Meyer. And what it is, Meyer is a department store. It's based in Grand Rapids, and there's a chain of Meyer stores all throughout Michigan. And I think there's some Meyer stores in Ohio. And I think Indiana too, but I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to look into that. So, okay, I'll do this. Seems I do shout outs to some of my friends every so often. If you would like me to do a shout out for you, email me. The email address is in the About tab section of my YouTube channel. Email me, say, hey, could you do a shout out for me? And, or shout out for a cancer warrior or whatever the case may be. Absolutely, I will do a shout out. But I like to do shout outs for a couple of my friends, you know, Joe in Kansas and my cousin Destiny and Juan in Texas because, you know, he's a good friend of mine. And to all the people who still contact me, shout out to you. Shout out to you too, Amy.
Yeah.
And a shout out to Dad, although I think Dad went to the bathroom. And a shout out to me. Oh, Jer Bear, you're so. I thank you. I'm good at what I do. Speaking the truth. I got friends from, oh, fuck, everywhere. Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, New York, everywhere. Here, there, everywhere, few and far between. Even across the ocean out in England, I have some friends in the UK, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I've been around the world and I haven't even left my house. Well, actually, I have. I've been to Georgia. I've been to Louisiana, New York, Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin. I think I just listed all the states I've been. I've been to 6 states. And I'm looking to visit some more states, hopefully in the future. Even, you know, with the COVID pandemic going, which I'm hoping, I'm just hoping that this goes away and we're able to, you know, go places and visit with people and just, you know, just to be physical and to just embrace each other and enjoy the time that we have with one another. I got friends in West Virginia and North Carolina, fuck, everywhere. But I'm the outspoken childhood cancer survivor. And most people just, they don't like it. They don't like it because they can't handle that. Tissue for your issues? I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's a compliment. I'm putting Amy to sleep. Fuck, I put myself to sleep. I do literally. I can, you know, I can actually watch my videos. I can play them back, and I get frustrated though when the audio cuts out because the internet connection is not the strongest. And then I make a good point and then the internet cuts out. It's like, what the fuck? You know, the screen pixelates. And it's like, this internet fucking sucks. But even if, you know, I don't get it out in the Sunday video update, there's always the daily rant. There's always a way to get the message out. But I'm really fascinated with people, how they think that me writing a letter or emailing them is such a crime. But a self-admitted sex predator can go around someone's children, and that's aces. Well, he's not a sex offender. Doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. If I did something so disgusting and then get on a podcast, or even here for that matter, and say, oh yeah, I sexually harassed somebody. That's so funny. If I did something like that, I would never leave home. I would never be around anybody. I don't sexually harass anybody. I never have. It's just, people have to get their priorities straight. somehow emailing and writing letters to people, that's a crime. That's the crime of the century. But somehow a self-admitted sex predator can get access to people's children. Oh, we love him. Yeah. I feel bad for that little girl that Milk Tyson, that he talks to. And his family's just too fucking dumb and blind and stupid to see it. Oh, we overlooked that because he got my kid on the Ellen show. I don't fucking care what he did. I don't care what he did for you. I don't care. He's a maggot ass leeching motherfucker. Exactly what he is. And my screen's acting funny. The webcam is doing a little out thing. Right there. But he's a leeching ass maggot piece of shit motherfucker. And sooner or later you're gonna have to pay the piper. You're gonna have to face the truth of that. And sooner or later, you're going to wake up and you're going to realize, you know what? I don't like that Jared Fuller, but he made a good point. You don't have to like me, but I'm going to tell you straight. I'm going to tell you how it is. And you people on Facebook who got that fam shit stain all over your fucking profile picture, you make yourself so obvious. Like there was this one, her name is Elizabeth Butler. She was one time against fam, and now she's all, she lifts her skirt for fam, which is fucking sick. That's my new catchphrase for people, especially women who obsess over men. It's like, yeah, you're all panties off for him. Yeah. And the fact that, Milk Tyson, he bought me, he got women a bunch of bras. Well, why should a man give two shits and a fuck about purchasing bras for women? Now, if I had a girlfriend or a wife and she didn't have the money or she couldn't get out of the house and she needed garments, yeah, then I'd go get it for her. But these are women that you have no personal relation or connection to other than through Facebook. They can get their own fucking garments, dude. Give me a break. They're not that desperate. Nothing sexual about that, by the way. Please. But anyway, Amy, you better stop me because Dad is not here to stop me or change the subject.
I know.
And he's usually here to fucking say, hey, Jared, that's enough. Hey, stop talking about it. Stop. I was up at the apartment complex last week. There's so much more that goes on, and I got to write this shit down before I even come on. I was at my friend's house, the apartment complex, my buddies that I took videos of. I was up there visiting with them. They're doing good. And they were happy to see me. And I was happy to see them too. It was a lot of fun.
Now they're down sick.
The baby, for sure, the baby was sick. She was up throwing up all night.
24-hour flu.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's been around the apartment that had it.
Yeah. I don't feel sick. I feel pretty good.
So I told her, I says, I don't like coming up right now because there's so many viruses out there, and
yeah, the COVID and the flu.
So young,
yeah,
she's don't need to be exposed.
She's just little. She's a little honey, but she was sick. She had tummy trouble. But when I went up there, she was eating a French fry, and she looked at me and smile, and she kind of run like she was being silly, and it's like, you better get back here, you little booger. And she let me pick her up for a couple minutes. And
yeah, her mom, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but her mom posted a video of her.
Yeah, her mom sent me a video of the baby, but my phone's being stupid and it doesn't like to download videos and pictures for some reason. So I'm going to have to go to the shop where I bought the phone and find out what the fuck is going on. I don't know if they're open today, though, being Sunday. I can check real quick, but let's see here. Just 1 second, guys. I'm
Googling.
Doing a little Google search here. Yeah, I don't know if they're open on Sundays. Nope. They close tomorrow at 10 a.m. Fuck. Well, at least now I know that they open tomorrow at 10. So I'll probably have to go tomorrow and find out.
Dad's coming back.
Oh, Dad's coming back. Woohoo!
More excitement.
Well-
He needs you to stop him, man. He's
I got lost in conversation about the pukes of the childhood cancer world who are disgusting and sponging off people and
They all know how to do
and
that.
he come out.
and they're just egocentric and insecure and
He
Oh,
came
yeah.
out. He says, "Dad's in the bathroom."
but usually, Dad, you stop me. You say, "Hey, change the subject," but it's me. But either way, I probably would say it anyway, even though he tries to stop me and he's like, "Oh, Jared, you just stop, just stop." No, let me finish my sentence. Let me finish my thought. But it's nothing I haven't said before, you know, about certain people. And they don't seem to have an issue talking about me on social media and trashing me. And the minute, there's a lot of rumors and a lot of gossip still floating on Facebook. I know there is. But check it out. People who really know me, they know the truth. And if you don't know the truth, you shouldn't assume, and maybe you should ask me some questions. That's part of the reason why I have an email address and it's available in the About tab section of my YouTube channel. You should probably check it out sometime. And
You ain't got nothing to say if you don't see it.
if you have questions, email me with them. I'll reply to your email. I don't have a problem talking to anyone. My email, my inbox usually stays pretty full. It's usually busy most of the time. And I go through a bunch of emails. I average about 20 emails, I think, per day. I mean, that's how popular I've gotten. But I don't care about popularity. I just want people to know that they can reach me privately, directly, if need be. And I don't have a problem answering questions, but if you're going to be a prick when you email me and you're going to be stupid, I'll chew you up and spit you out. And then I'll be done with you, which could also be fun. But just, if you have something you'd like to say, just email me. No, I'm not picking my nose, my upper lip itch. Got that upper lip itch going on. But if you have questions or concerns, just email me and just, let's talk about it. I had, someone actually emailed me and it come from an email address, which I found to be interesting, called Jared Tips. And by the way, they spelled my fucking first name wrong. Everybody gets my first name wrong. They spell it wrong. They call me Jeremy or Jarrett, like my grandfather calls me Jarrett. There's no T in my first name. They emailed me something about the Still Brave Foundation, the Tom Mitchell Foundation. Oh yeah, they were showing me screenshots of like tax returns and all that shit. Like, what do I fucking care? It's a nonprofit organization. If you're working within the functions of the nonprofit organization, guess what? That's what nonprofit organizations are for, to help the general public. They're kind of, in a way, they're kind of like a credit union in some regard, because they're for the people by the people. If it wasn't to the organization, there would be no money of people. That's what keeps the credit union going. So that way, when other people want to borrow money, the money will be there for other people to borrow. When they pay them back, there's more interest. So that's basically what it is. But the thing about that is there is a difference between something that's owed versus something that you find within your heart to donate. So there is a difference with that in that regard. But at the same time, that's the functions of a nonprofit organization. You don't get a pat on the back for that. What you get is knowing and feeling in your heart that it was the people who donated to the nonprofit organization who actually made a difference for somebody else. And I'm just the CEO of that nonprofit organization. I've never had a nonprofit organization in my life. And I'm not going to sit here and denounce that the hard work of a nonprofit organization is not considered. Absolutely, it's hard work. There's a board of directors involved. You have a CEO. You got people who, you all work together. You have the same vision. You have the same goals. You have the same drive to want to help people. That's what you're supposed to do. That's the way that's the way it's supposed to be. It's the way it should be. However, to then go on Facebook and brag, look what I did. No, you didn't do it. The nonprofit organization did it. There's a difference. It didn't come out of your back pocket. It came from the nonprofit organization. There's a huge difference. Now, when I say I've taken money out of my pocket to help people, I literally had taken money out of my pocket to help somebody. But I don't need to tell the world that. I don't need to get on Facebook or even here on YouTube and say, yep, I gave such and such $100 today. I gave such and such $200, $300 today. That's no one's business. Nobody needs to know. But I've done it numerous times. But the people that I've helped, you're never going to know who that is. Unless, of course, they, for some reason, bring it up on Facebook or elsewhere publicly. But I'm sick of the way things have gone. I'm sick of the direction that advocacy has taken, which is why I'm not a part of it. They don't speak for me. I speak for myself. I am my own PR agent. Sometimes Dad's my PR agent because he'll say, Jared, cool it. Shut up. Stop. But I can understand his point too. And he's not telling me to shut up right now. He's just letting me go off. No words, Dad?
No, because you wouldn't want me to start in.
Oh, well, if you start in, yeah, this could go on for at least a couple more hours. And I've already been here for over an hour.
I'm escaping.
You're going off to the bedroom. You're going to the green room.
Yep.
Yeah, the green room.
Hey, the green room.
They know what the fuck the green room is. They ain't stupid.
Yeah.
You never know.
So Amy's going to say peace out. Well, she would have had she stuck around for a couple more seconds.
Peace out. Be safe.
There we go. Peace out. Be safe. I've been here for over an hour. Dad, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, just keep your chin up. And hope we make it all through this.
Yeah, better days are ahead, I'm sure. And I don't know what I'm doing this week. Yeah, wear your mask. I don't know what I'm doing this week. But to reiterate, next Sunday is my brother's birthday. My brother Wayne celebrates a birthday next Sunday. On the 25th of this week on the 25th, my cousin Corey will be gone for 1 year. Corey Van Horn. A little girl from Colorado named Natalie Walsh, sweet little lady. She will be gone for a year on the 26th. And on my brother's birthday on the 28th, my beloved Ruth, she'll be gone for a year. So this is probably going to be a difficult week. And with that being said, and it's been, the past week for me has been not the greatest, but I try to stay busy. I try to keep it going. I try to stay occupied and not think about things so much. But if you are one of those people out there who are going through difficult times, whether it be with the situation in Texas or the loss of a loved one or because of the COVID pandemic or just life in general, if you are one of those people who are going through a difficult time, you know, reach out to me, email me, we'll talk. Our conversations will remain confidential. There's nothing that we talk about that will ever be announced here. But I am a friend. If you need someone to talk to, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I make my email address visible if you are signed in to a YouTube account or a Google account. And it's only visible on a computer. You can't get it through a cell phone. But I would really and truly hope that you reach out to me if possible, and we can have the conversations. We can talk about personal things. If you feel like you trust me, if you confide in me, and like Dad pointed out, if you feel comfortable in doing so. I want for people to understand that they are not alone in this world. It might feel like it, because let me tell you, I feel alone a lot of the time. And I could have a good day today, tomorrow maybe a shit day where I feel lonely, depressed, nobody loves me, nobody cares about me, I don't hear from people anymore. That kind of feeling, which is not true. That's just my mind playing tricks with my heart, kind of a thing, and I know better. There's lots of people out there I'm friends with, they love me, they care about me, and they show that. And if you feel as if you are alone in the world, email me. Well, you don't have an email address, Sparkly, so they're not going to email you. He said call. Yeah. But, just reach out to me and we will have a talk. And, I'm here for you if you need somebody to talk to. So, Dad, any final words before I go? Have a good week. You said your final words, right? Wear a mask and be safe and healthy and stay warm.
Check on your neighbors.
And check on your neighbors. Yeah. Even if they are pessimistic like our neighbors, you got to check on them once in a while just to make sure that they're okay, because it's the humanly thing to do. But make sure that, the people around you are loved and taken care of, and you have to make sure that you are loved and taken care of yourself.
And if food's a problem, share your food. If you have extra, share it with neighbors, share it with your friends.
Yeah.
Help them out.
Yeah, we all could use a little bit of help in some areas and some aspects. But we have to look out for one another. And I know I can come on here and I can go on my daily rant recording and I can, have a very sharp tongue and talk very ugly about people. But it's usually people who cast the first stone. And then I just fire back. But generally speaking, I'm not someone who just randomly goes around and casts vitriol on people. And I don't cause problems for people. I'm usually pretty good, treating people the way I want to be treated. Even on my worst day, I treat people the way I want to be treated. You see my dog over there, Scruffy. But anyway, guys, I'm dragging on, so I'm going to get going. I don't know what my plans are for today. It's already after 4:00. Thank you for watching. Thanks for indulging me for over an hour, almost an hour and 10 minutes. I'll see you next week. It is my brother's birthday, so that will probably be the topic of discussion for next week's video. Hang in there, keep your chin up, and I'll see you next week. Much love and peace, guys. Take care.